let's look at how to bind these two entries two ways. Jump into the code behind, which is your to-do edit page.xaml.cs. Up in the top we need one more using statement, and that is using our system.component model. And down here in our class, before we get to the constructor, create a little space, and we're going to create the actual item that we're going to bind. So this will be a public to-do list item, and this we will call the model. Open our brackets, and we will have a get, and inside that get we're going to return a to-do list item as the binding context. So you'll notice that we have to cast it to a to-do list item. And then close that off. And then we need a setter. So we say set. And in here we have our binding context is equal to the value. And then we have to fire off an onPropertyChanged to let it know that we've actually changed the value inside of this model. And then close that setter off and close off the model. Okay, now we need to set up our to-do edit page. And if you recall, whenever we fire up this page, we have to pass in a to-do item. And in the constructor, obviously, is where we're going to do that. So we say to-do list item, and we're going to do underscore model. So now we've passed it in, we have to copy it over to our main model. So model is equal to underscore model. And then just for niceties, let's have a title on this screen, and we will call this edit, just so our user knows which screen we're in and what they're supposed to do in here. Okay, now we need to have an onSave, because in our XAML we've actually said here, when you're clicked, fire an onSave. And to do that we just go public void onSave, and then we give it an object which is a sender and the standard event args e, and that's taken care of that. Okay, so now if we try to build, we're going to get an error, because over here in the to-do edit page it actually wants us to pass it something. So we have to cast the e.itemSelectedItem, and in front of that open and close your brackets, and we're going to cast this to a to-do list item. So now when we play and we open that page, we should have the title and the description set for us, and a save button to play with. So when I hit this top one, there we go, we have it. And inside here I can type things, etc. But if I hit save, nothing happens because we still have an empty save method. Okay, let's stop that running. And in the next lesson we're going to look at this onSave method and create a way of saving to our database.